Good morning, friends. How's everyone doing today? Welcome back to our weekly garden walk and talks. I thought we would start back here in this corner of my garden that I'm not able to show you often because I'm actually standing in a drainage ditch. But what you're seeing right now is the view that I see outside our kitchen window. And isn't the fall color on this firelight hydrangea phenomenal? I love looking out the kitchen window and seeing this vibrant red color backed up by the beautiful antique green and pink that the limelight hydrangea brings in early fall. It's currently September 19th, I believe. So let's take a walk around the garden, see how everything's doing. So as we swing around this firelight hydrangea, and I bring the camera down to show you this beautiful lime spirea. We have some obedience plant in bloom. It's such a great substitute for snapdragons in late summer and early fall bouquets. And I've heard that it's called obedient plant because apparently you can bend the stems and they will be obedient and stay in place. So you can see back here by my table and chairs, I have another wave of Pro-Cut plum sunflowers still yet to bloom. We have another wave over in the raised beds, and those are ready to be cut. We'll see if Grace will lead the way during today's video. Here we have my Dahlia North Lawn Saving Grace with a beautiful bee asleep on the petals. And I'd like to go ahead and cut some of these, press them, and display some of them on pumpkins. And I think this combo of pink, orange, and deep rusty orange is kind of a different color palette, but I have to tell you, I really enjoy it, and I think it's something I might repeat in the years ahead. So let me get you up close on some of these plants to show you the textures and colors that I have going on. So here we have Fall in Love Sweetly Anemone, backed up by Compact Orange Sun Patient, followed by Sedona Sunset Coleus, and then I have more Saving Grace Dahlias and David Howard Dahlias, which aren't in bloom at the moment. So that'll be something to look forward to in the weeks ahead. And then this beautiful golden leaf plant you see here is Golden Sage, backed up by GMs. And I'm just basically repeating those plants over and over again in the main flower walk. And I think this is the first year where I have completely covered the fence with forsythia, and I like to use that for cutting. And I'm really thankful that I didn't have to buy any of that forsythia. I just stuck cuttings in the ground. If you see the camera shaking this morning, that's because Grace is rubbing up against my leg below. I have to say that adding in this alfresco fountain this year has been such a wonderful blessing, and it's really just elevated the entire garden experience. It's so beautiful in the day, and at night it just glows, and I love having the sound of water here in the garden. We're having some leaf drop already, but you can see the beautiful purple 9 bark there. I did start to cut back my lilies. Incredible has turned green at this point in the season. And then check out the color on the limelight hydrangea. Just phenomenal. So I think in about 2 weeks we'll have another nice show as David Howard will start to bloom again, and Saving Grace within the border will bloom again. I cut some of those because I was testing their vase life, and then David Howard is just kind of lulling, but we did have another heat wave, so I'm guessing that's what happened there. Right here we have a beautiful dahlia called Bacardi. Isn't that fantastic? I'm not sure I really love the structure of this plant, but I do love the blooms. And in case you missed the video about the Booknook, you can see that we've started to lay gravel in front of the garden library. And I planted 5 new hydrangeas over there the other day. I couldn't resist. They were only $16.99 at our local nursery, so I just had to pick a few up. We have the verbena still in bloom, but you know, it has powdery mildew pretty bad. Do you guys get powdery mildew on your verbena? Stone rug is looking good. And it's funny, some of you mentioned to me in a recent video that you don't like the oak leaf hydrangeas because they turn brown in early fall. I kind of agree with you on that. I'm contemplating cutting those bloom heads off and just leaving the leaves because they do have fantastic fall color. The leaves, that is. So here we have another wave of sunflowers and another wave of Benary giant orange zinnias. I anticipate all of that being in bloom in about 2 weeks. So if you want to come back then and check in with us here at North Lawn, we would love to have you. So if you see all of these single dahlias here in front of the garden library, these are all part of my seed collection, which I'm going to be calling Sharing Grace. And I can show you a close look at some of them. They bloom profusely. They bloom early. The pollinators love them. They're incredible seed producers. You can see seed all over them. And I'm probably going to give these probably about 2 more weeks to continue to bloom. And then at that point, I'll stop deadheading them so that I can start collecting seed. It's a wide range of colors. We've got reds, pinks, oranges, whites. I don't think we have any yellow, which is kind of nice because I think of all the colors in the garden, I do find yellow to kind of stand out. And I don't mind that at all. It's just something to think about. So here's a look at the Booknook from the corner of my garden. And you can see this incredibly tall dahlia there. That one was mislabeled, and I'll put the correct name on the screen because I don't really know how to pronounce it. So let's go ahead and head into the Booknook together. Growing in between the cracks, I have creeping thyme and an ornamental oregano. Drops of Jupiter oregano, I believe. I think we planted that together. Purple hyacinth bean vine is blooming. Just so beautiful. And let me show you this. I told you I was trying to attach it to the garden library. So there was a little tunnel here. And it's finally started to grab onto the window. Here we have Florette's Alpenglow zinnia. Unfortunately, it did get powdery mildew before it even started to bloom. That happens quite often in my area, but some zinnias are more susceptible to that than others. So you see the Benary giants don't have powdery mildew yet. So here's the hydrangeas that I put in. This is Invincibelle Ruby, and this one stays pretty short. I'm just talking off the top of my head here, but I think it's about 2 to 3 feet tall and wide. So I have these spaced to just become a nice short hedge. And there's more hydrangeas back here by the library. You can see Limelight Prime there. This one is Strawberry Sundae. And then I have Limelight Prime behind me. A lot of my tomatoes are pretty much going over. I need to pull them out. And so the purple hyacinth bean vine is attaching itself to the window, but it's also attaching itself to these solar lights. And I think it's going to be so fun to see how far they trail. I have also planted sweet peas, fall planted sweet peas down here, so that we can just cut off these vines and let the sweet pea vines bloom. Let me take you down for a second to show you the zinnia propagation that I'm working on. These are the zinnia cuttings. You can see some powdery mildew showing up there already. But I think 100, oh, somebody dug up that one. Hold on, let me put it back in. Okay, that's better. But the good news is that I believe all of the cuttings did take. Now back here where things get a little bit wild and untamed, I have another round of Pro Cup Plums sunflowers. I almost said zinnias, because I have zinnias on the mind now. But these are such a beautiful color. I love them in spring. I love them in fall. And I decided to stop growing the red sunflowers because they're just not selling. So I'm going to try these at the stand tomorrow. Today is Friday. So we'll cut these later on today and we'll see how they sell compared to our bright yellow sunflowers. So let me show you what that tunnel looks like. See if we can walk through here together. So you can kind of see into the library. And it's just attaching itself there to the frame of the window. And I strung lights through here too, and it looks so beautiful in the evening. The garden just glows at night. And it's just so nice to sit in the Booknook and feel like you have a little bit of privacy back here. So that's the update on the raised bed garden. Now let me swing you around to the Kusa dogwood and the hydrangea room. So the last few weeks I've actually cleared out what I used to call the hydrangea annex because I have a new plan for this area. We put these lounge chairs here and my husband and I really like that, so I'm going to keep that. And we're going to work on that very soon because all of our nurseries are having sales now. So I think I'll be able to pick up what I need, hopefully this Saturday. So as we travel along the edge of the property, we wind up over here at the hydrangea room. It's so beautiful. I don't even know what to say. It's just so wonderful to have designed something and for it to work well from the start. That certainly doesn't always happen. The crepe myrtle is blooming at the moment, creating this beautiful canopy of pink clouds over the hydrangea room. I'm not sure if you've ever seen that before. And I think the oak tree that is right above us is having a, did you just see that? I think it's called a mast here. When it produces tons of acorns, I think they said 10,000 acorns in 1 year. It's just really interesting. So there's acorns all over the hydrangea room. Pretty much all the hydrangeas have turned green or a dusty rose. I'm debating whether or not I want to buy any pumpkins this year. Are you guys doing a lot of pumpkins this year? I always feel the need and the desire to buy a bunch, but it just gets so expensive. Maybe I'll just buy a few or just decorate one garden. See how that works out. So friends, now let's head back down the main flower walk and I'll give you an update on the driveway garden. Now I don't think I did a vlog this week. I'm trying to think back on when this happened. The electric company had to run new lines, underground lines, so we had some major destruction over in the driveway garden. Thankfully, it's far enough away from all of my valuable trees that I don't think we'll be losing the Kusa dogwood, but I do think that one of the willows and one of the Rosa Sharons, well, they're probably going to die. Here's one of the holes. You can see how close that is to the willow and to the Rose of Sharon. So what do you think? Are these trees going to survive? So that's where the first hole is located, and then there's a much longer and deeper trench over here as well. I don't think I planted anything over in the driveway garden since you saw it last. Maybe I added in this 5th boxwood. I can't remember. But with all the construction going on over here, I do think what I want to do as we approach fall in only, what, 2-3 days now, I want to bring in a hedge of steeplechase arborvitaes. Oh my goodness, a huge branch of the oak just fell down. Anyway, I want to bring in a big hedge of steeplechase arborvitaes right here. A lot of these willows are starting to die. I didn't plant these, and I'd like to get that evergreen hedge established so that we can enjoy that before we have to take out these willows. How about these beautiful, beautiful Dahlias? Isn't the color on that fantastic? Well, friends, thanks so much for joining Grace and I for another garden walk and talk. Grace and I want to wish you a wonderful day out there in your gardens. And we'll see you sometime soon for more garden vlogs, garden tours, and garden walk and talks. I'll see you soon, friends. Bye.